WEFUNK. We funk.
A lot of movie news came out of DC Fandome, man. Some things expected, some things big surprises. I'll start with the first thing that had no video attachment to it. All right, and we're talking the Flash movie.
We'll build up here, all right. As I think we're going in reverse sequential order to the top, to the number one story or thereabouts, but.
Absolutely. So we'll start with just some the Flash movie news that's been, in production for a while. That they, after kind of the flop of Justice League, I don't think they really knew they were going to make it or not. But then, they're really coming back and doing. I think we teased maybe on an episode or two ago that Michael Keaton was rumored to be coming back as Batman, and this has been confirmed now for Keaton is coming back as Batman from like the Tim Burton movies. As long as the big reveal was Ben Affleck is returning also as Batman for his final run.
Batman's in a Flash movie? What? I guess real quick, this kind of reminds me of like when I said this, like the like in the Oscars when they start off by giving you like one of the big awards and then they still build up to the end. But even though I said we're going to build up and give the biggest story, this is one of my biggest stories, in all honesty, is the Keaton Affleck Batman in Flashpoint, which I guess is, like we said, as well going to potentially feature the guy from the Flash TV show, because there was this Flash Season 7 news to come out of DC Fandome as well. But this is like from the Justice League Flash movie. And not the TV show. However, the TV show Flash also potentially could be in this movie. So what the fuck exactly is happening with?
So what the last season of all like the Arrowverse shows did, be it the Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Batgirl,
all on like all on the CW,
all the CW, all those shows. They share like a shared universe, and they did this thing called Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was like a popular comic book in DC. And it just shows like all the different realities. So much so that Ezra Miller, who plays the movie version of the Flash, shows up on like really quick in one of the episodes of the Flash and talks to the TV version of the Flash. And it's kind of interesting too because like the TV version of the Flash is like, oh, I like your costume. You're the Flash of this universe. And it's a kind of a good little like Easter egg they put in the episode too, is because Ezra Miller, who's like the movie version of the Flash, he's like, oh, you call yourself the Flash? That's a great name. And I was just like, and you kind of realize like, oh yeah, they never call him Flash in the fucking movies. They just kind of call him like, Barry. So I was like, oh, maybe that's where he's going to start using the Flash name from.
Oh, cool.
So
now that you mentioned it, I do remember you telling me that like we did cover this on an episode, whenever that happened. So I guess they did already kind of introduce this concept, but now really kicking it up a notch with like I guess the Flash movie with dueling Flashes would be like a good enough selling point. But I guess so now what, they're going to every other universe and scooping up every Batman along the way as well?
Well, okay, so the movie's called Flashpoint also, which is a famous comic book arc where the Flash actually like runs so fast he goes back in time to like I think save his mom's life.
Which
and then by doing so but by doing so it kind of has this ripple effect of like changing the future or like the present. And in this present, and I don't know if they're going to do this in the movie or not. I don't know if Michael Keaton's going to be playing the Burton version of himself, which I hope he is, or if he's going to be playing Thomas Wayne. Because in the comic book version, what happens is instead of Bruce Wayne's parents being killed by the mugger, the child Bruce Wayne is actually killed by the mugger.
Oh,
so in turn, like his dad becomes Batman and his mom becomes the Joker, which makes no sense.
Wow. So let me add real quick, instead of pearls going down the alley, is there like little candies or like little kid toy rolling down the alley instead of the pearls from every Batman murder scene?
He was holding a packet of Smarties, and they all went flying in the air. So, I mean, that's just kind of... It's going to be a kind of a wild movie to see, especially like as Affleck already announced earlier this year that he was done playing Batman. And then Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, also announced that he was done. Now they've both come back and said like, fuck it, we'll do another one or two. But this is supposed to be Affleck's last time as Batman, which is it's nice of DC to do it for him. You know what I mean? Be like, all right, look, dude, there's Patterson kids getting some real talk.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, Affleck. Like, but we'll let you say goodbye. You know?
Yeah. No, it could be a fun way, and getting Keaton in there, probably a little bit more of the headliner for me. I mean, we're gonna get to see Affleck in the Snyder Cut as well, I suppose. I know that's
Correct.
from before, but I think we're all a little bit done with Affleck as Batman. So
For sure, and the big news from that too is also, like you said, Keaton coming back as Batman.
For sure,
fucking wild,
and just a cool concept, introducing that concept to the movie universe. It's very Christopher Nolan, honestly, kind of like Doctor Strange whole movie plot line kind of thing, but definitely sounds pretty cool. And for somebody that doesn't really watch the Flash TV show, I don't really watch the CW verse, the Arrowverse. However, check out all the movies. Definitely would like to see that storyline, play out or be brought to what people actually watch in millions of in the numbers of millions. So,
yeah, no, and it's just cool that like they're kind of like giving like the TV actors the TV shows themselves like legitimacy, just even by him having his quick cameo in the TV series makes it legit. Like,
that's a great move marketing for Agents of Shields and all these ones. Like you have
Agents of Shields, I was gonna say, went on forever for 7 seasons. I think they just wrapped their final season, and you always waited for like one of the Marvel characters to show up in like one episode, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they never fucking do. I think Samuel L. Jackson makes a cameo in like the first season. But like I've talked about it to buddies of mine
throughout the
who
show.
We used to watch the show. How fucking hard would it be for just some CGI Iron Man in one of the episodes? Like, don't even show the fucking guy's face. Just be like, I'm Iron Man. Like, all right, dope.
You know how much better that would, like how much more, how much that would help the show in general if there was a cameo from fucking Chris Pratt, like, every season.
Exactly.
Did one episode as the Hulk. Like, it would get people watching all 12 episodes, you know what I mean? So
absolutely would.
They're really missing out, and definitely the right idea for DC to try to, make it more. You have to try to make them a little bit more in sync with one another. Obviously, you can't. And even if they did kind of give it little stakes, where it's not like these movies you can't follow along if you didn't see anything. But, if you're a big fan, you should really be getting, like, content from the TV shows that are directly involved in the movie storylines, than more so than an independent storyline. I think that the general fans would love that. If it was like just an extension of the movie series, but on television, but
well, exactly.
They got to get a little bit of a middle ground because you can't make it, But
and we'll talk about that too again because even HBO Max is getting on board with that. But we'll talk about that a little later. I guess because Flashpoint has been rumored, like I said, it's been in production for a long time. Another movie that's been like talked about for a few years now, and mostly by The Rock himself, because you just kind of almost thought it was not so bullshit that like, what's The Rock talking about? But Black Adam finally kind of had a little air of legitimacy over at the DC Fandome event with a storyboarded trailer narrated by The Rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that looked pretty sick. It was like an animated trailer. However, first of all, Black Adam, it sounds like it should be like a Tommy Davidson in living color character, does it not? You know what I mean? Like, it does not sound like a superhero. However, it looks like one, and it's cast as one. However, and looked real cool actually. Does it reek of them trying to compete with Black Panther?
No, because it's totally different. Totally different. Not at all. And plus, they've announced Black Adam. Like, I think even before they made the Justice League movie, like there was rumor that The Rock was going to make a cameo in Suicide Squad for in his Black Adam, and then there was a rumor he's going to appear and make a cameo in Justice League, and then there was a rumor, which really made no sense, that he wasn't the villain in Shazam, because in the comic books, Black Adam is
real quick,
Shazam's
why don't you just
villain.
give us like a rundown of the comic lore? Because I'm sure I'm not alone, and this is one of the more obscure comics. You want to give us a rundown of who exactly
Absolutely.
Black Adam is?
I mean, it's not much different that you kind of see in the trailer. They gave the whole thing, but he's from like the Egyptian land of like Kontor or whatever. But he basically is Shazam's enemy. He has the exact same powers as Shazam does. That he says Shazam and turns into Black Adam, but I think he always kind of stays that form, whereas Shazam is like a 12-year-old kid, and then he says Shazam and turns into a hero. I think Black Adam is just always has the powers, but he has the same exact costume, except it's black instead of red. And in recent years, they've made him more, and he kind of always has been, but in recent years, they've really, in the comics, have made him more of an anti-hero than a straight villain. And I think with The Rock playing Black Adam, that's the approach they're going to go with for the movie, which is why I don't think he showed up in Shazam as the villain, because I don't think they want to straight up present him as a straight villain.
And the whole anti-hero thing is huge right now. You know what I mean? Very easy to play on that. There was a couple.
Absolutely.
You know.
The other thing, too, is it's just funny. When this first was announced, like, it really kind of shows you what kind of shambles DC was in, because, like, The Rock put a poll on Twitter. He was like, all right, Rockamaniacs, who would you rather see me play? And literally it was like Shazam or Black Adam. And then Black Adam won the votes. Was like, dude, did Rock have that much pull in DC? It was like, looks like I'm playing Shazam. If I would have gone the other way, like, it's fucking like
that's
bonkers,
hilarious.
But,
first of all, I'm a little disgusted at myself. I don't think I've ever heard the term Rockamaniac, which is
no, I made it up on the spot, but they gotta be. It's gotta be real, right?
I think you might have just literally like $1 billion T-shirt on the. I don't know if that qualifies for Shark Tank, but it's a fucking
hashtag Rockamaniacs.
You might have just made one of the all-time memes anyway. But that sounds hilarious, though, and that sounds very believable that The Rock would have like. You know, DC by the balls to the point where
he's not the highest paid actor in Hollywood for nothing, dude.
We just talked about that last week. But all in all, it sounds like a real cool. And I think as well, you were saying that you know you were telling me, but it is a very popular kind of for comic book fans. That's not like a real crossover. Nobody's heard of him, but over the last couple of years, it has been one of the more popular like comic book. Characters and angles that's been going on. But it looked real cool, like I said, and the trailer definitely interesting, and the character sounds interesting. So
for sure.
DC needs something new, a shot of life. Rock seems to be successful in everything he's in, so it's a good, good person to sign up with DC right there. Who, just like we said, looks like they might be turning a corner a little bit, and I could very well see Black Adam being like a huge smash hit. Part of that, and within look,
Shazam.
A lot of room.
Shazam surprisingly was too, like with Zachary Levi, and
Shazam actually was a big success as well. Yeah, better than people. So, I never saw it. You said it was better than. You said it was better than you thought.
It was. I didn't love it.
Successful anyway.
It was like honestly, it was like big. If it was like a superhero movie, he's like a little kid that like turns into a superhero, but still like acts like a superhero. Like goes in his superhero costume, to, like buy beer.
Should have put Endgame to shame, but based on that slug line, but
we'll see with the Shazam. It sounds like Liam can smell what Black Adam is cooking, so we'll keep you up to date with the news on that. But they just really gave you a little teaser thing, and you're right, it does look pretty awesome.
Big F! WEFUNK. We funk.